That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the most overpowered thing in Cold War Zombies right now. And I can't believe that the Ballistic Knife is genuinely one of the best weapons in Cold War Zombies. Not only the best melee weapon, but one of the best weapons in general to use. So we'll be testing it and putting it through its paces in this video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the Ballistic Knife in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, be sure to click that like button as it feeds the YouTube algorithm and lets more people see this amazing weapon. To get your hands on the Ballistic Knife, you can either get it in a bundle or you can unlock it via a challenge, and it's amazing we can finally do this in Zombies. And you need to get 300 kills with a special or melee weapon of epic or legendary tier. I'm sure this is pretty obvious straight out the gate, but the one benefit that this has to every other melee weapon is it's actually not classed as a melee weapon. It's classed as a special weapon, but it has the ability to melee and shoot projectiles at the same time. Compared against some of the other melee weapons, it doesn't win in the speed category of being able to melee zombies very quickly, but what it lacks for, it makes up in being a projectile. Now here we've got it at tier 1 Pack-a-Punch, where Pack-a-Punch it becomes the sharpshooter. As you can see, it can do about 3,700 damage to the head, which is equal to the damage that you'll get from meleeing with the knife as well as shooting. But that's great, because if you have that additional set of 20 knives that you can shoot and you're doing the exact same damage as you would melee, then that means you can combine both. With it in your starting loadout, you only spawn in with 10 knives, but when you upgrade this thing, you can have 21 knives, which is obviously really good. And of course, running over any knives you've shot picks them straight back up. Now, one other massive benefit that you obviously get when you Pack-a-Punch the Ballistic Knives, and this is something which hasn't returned since the days of Black Ops 2 Zombies, is the fact that it can revive downed teammates. When they brought the crossbow into the game a month or so ago, I was expecting it to have the same effects as the Black Ops 1 crossbow, where, you know, it works a bit like a monkey bomb. Sadly, that's not the case, but the Ballistic Knife can revive down teammates, and it's particularly useful, especially on big maps like Outbreak, where if you have perfect aim with this thing, you can revive people from across the map, which is obviously incredibly useful. Now let's Pack-a-Punch this thing some more. Rolling on to round 19 with tier 2 Pack-a-Punch, and as you can see, when we shoot it, we can do a ridiculous amount of damage. 29,000 damage to the head with one of these knives. There is nothing else in Cold War Zombies that can do that much damage to the head from a critical hit to round like this, round 19. This is absurd damage that we're doing. So we got it tier 2 Pack-a-Punch, and we've now also got it tier 4 rarity. And even if you don't get a critical hit, you're still getting about 12,000 damage, which is really good. That's on par with the Ray K. Now here's where things get truly shocking. It being tier 3 Pack-a-Punched, it can do 72,000 damage to anything that hits with a critical. And you see we took out those elites incredibly easily there, which was just, it's insane. There is no other weapon that does this much damage. You're looking at maybe the crossbow as a comparison, but I think this is stronger than the crossbow, which is incredible. It has the versatility of being that melee weapon with that high melee damage, where it can still pretty much one knife kill on this round at this Pack-a-Punch rarity, doing 27,000 damage. But then you compare that as well with the fact that these projectiles, if they hit the right spot, man, you are doing some serious damage numbers. Now we thought we'd test against the Mangler, and one shot from one of these nearly takes out the Mangler entirely. I'm pretty sure if I aimed for its cannon, we definitely would have gotten a one-shot, one kill right there. And then just to show some damage comparisons now, running the Ray K, where it's only papped once, getting about 7,000 as critical damage. Now I know the Pack-a-Punch rarity isn't equal, but the fact that we have just a knife and it's doing more damage than the Wonder Weapon is absurd. Pairing this with the damage from the crossbow can do about 10,000 if you're not aiming properly. If you're getting headshots, you're going to be getting about 44,000 damage. And that's at tier 3 Pack-a-Punch, tier 5 rarity. We've not even considered Ring of Fire yet in any of the damage output that this Ballistic Knife can do. And it's just so satisfying looking at Manglo shooting his arm cannon on round 26, and it's an insta-death. It's sweet. And now let's tier 5 rarity upgrade this thing so it's fully maxed out, and let's see what sort of damage we can do. Around 27, it's an insta knife, which is absolutely fantastic. It's doing about 30,000 damage a knife, which is really good. And even when knifing elites like manglers, they take 2 knives and that's it. And you can of course add a ammo mod onto this to make it even better. And with the dead wire nerf, it's honestly a little tricky on which one is going to be the best to run, but I was running helipad here and I found that the napalm burst was actually pretty darn good. It done a lot of ticking damage over time, which is something that you want. Pair it with elemental pop as well and you're going to have a lot of fun with this. But let's jump into what you're really here to see, which is how does it fare up against Order? Is this the new best, fastest weapon to use against it? And well, spoiler alert, yes, it is. Jumping into the first assault wave with Order, run round 30. I just tested to see if one of the ballistic knives would do any damage when he was really far away, and I managed to hit him. And when we pop Ring of Fire, you can see we're getting about 55 to 57,000 damage each knife, which is amazing. Really, really good stuff. Comparing that to the crossbow, which only does 14,400 damage per shot, it doesn't make any sense. The only benefit the crossbow has is being able to fire so much quicker than the ballistic knife, but man, it is insane. Now, one Order is not enough. Of course, you want to see how effective this is in the main boss fight against Order. And to make this even better, I've done this test twice. Once where we just race to see how quickly we can take it down the moment we're in the boss fight, and then how quickly we can take it down when it has its critical spots open. This is the mind-blowing bit. Jumping into the Order boss fight, doing it as quickly as we can, we beat this thing in 7.5 seconds with Ring of Fire. 7.5. With Ring of Fire popped, we absolutely decimate this boss, doing the same 57,600 damage that we did to the round 30 Order. For comparison, with the crossbow, it took 10.5 seconds to kill, so we've wiped 3 seconds off, which is insane. I don't think any weapon is faster to kill than this. Just take a second to think how ridiculous that is. A knife, specifically the ballistic knife from OG Zombies, is more powerful than any wonder weapon in the game. It's more powerful than an RPG. It's more powerful than the crossbow. It is nuts. 57,600 damage we were doing normally is what we got with the crossbow when it had its critical point open, which is insane. So how much damage did we do when it had its critical point open? Well, I'll let the footage speak for itself. A whooping 212,000 damage. Like, that is absolutely absurd. Nearly 4 times as much damage as the crossbow. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. If there's any other long-ranged boss fight in the future, ballistic knives upgraded is going to be the way to do it. It is just unbelievable how powerful this is. Stuff like this that just makes me absolutely love what Treyarch is doing with Cold War Zombies, and it just makes new weapons being added to this game even more exciting because they just absolutely blow your expectations away being this strong. I would absolutely recommend you run the ballistic knife tier 3 fully upgraded rarity, even if you're not going for a boss fight, because you have the ability to revive across map. It's so strong as a melee weapon and as a projectile, and on top of that, it's incredibly fun to use, and it has a purpose being a melee weapon but also a projectile at the same time. You literally get the best of both worlds. I highly suggest you go into Zombies and unlock this thing so you can use it in your arsenal, because this is without question the most overpowered weapon in Zombies, and I don't think anything else is going to beat this for a really long time, if not ever. If you enjoyed this look at the ballistic knife, let me know in the comments below. Smack a like rating on this video before you leave, and you can find my previous upload on your screen right now. But thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. I'll catch you in the next one.